Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. I'm currently traveling here in the beautiful city of Bangkok, but I just wanted to share with you guys my experience with using the Pixel 7, which I do have right here, for a couple of days now, almost a week. Today's video is going to be a bit different from my others because I want you to know that me personally, I've not actually used a Pixel phone before. So this is my first ever Pixel. I've been always using phones like Oppo, OnePlus, Vivo, all those stuff, Xiaomi of course. But yeah, today is really different because when I picked up a Pixel, my goodness, the experience was totally different. If there was one phone that I could compare the experience to based on the UI design and all that, I would say that it felt very similar to using the Nothing phone. So I guess that Nothing phone must be really close to stock Android. But yeah, the Pixel phones are not actually available in Malaysia. Not officially, of course, but I have my friend Erica who actually hooked me up with one of these devices. In fact, I also have the Pixel 7 Pro, the bigger brother, right here. So these are the two babies right here. But I've been mainly using the Pixel 7 because of its smaller form factor, easy to carry and all that. But if you guys want to get your Pixel phones and if you're in Malaysia, you should check out Erica, links down below. With that said, let me share with you my experience with the Pixel 7 here after a couple of days. Well, first things first, just in terms of the design, me personally, I do not really dig the design. We do have a very interesting color over here. It's called lemongrass. Personally, I would say that the black and white versions might look a little bit better. I'm not really a fan of the Pixel 7 Pro's design as well, especially this sort of latch at the back here, which looks, I don't know, just not really my kind of design, but the build quality, guys, it feels really premium. Now, this is where I must say that just in terms of the build, Google did a fantastic job with the Pixel 7. It feels like a very expensive phone. Pricing-wise, it's slightly more than 3,000 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this puts it sort of in the upper mid-range kind of segment for the Pixel 7 here. Everything feels very nice. We have this matte kind of sides, which is made of aluminum. Feels, again, really premium and expensive. And I love that about the Google Pixel 7. Apart from that, just in terms of using the phone, how does it feel like to use the phone? Well, this is being powered by the Google Tensor G2, and its performance is not as powerful as something like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. But yeah, it actually feels very fast and snappy, naturally since it's stock Android. So everything on here is actually very clean. You do not have any bloatware whatsoever, and everything is just fast. Launching apps, everything is fast, guys. So that's what I actually like about the user experience using this phone here. Now, what I didn't really like is, since I'm used to phones like I said, Oppo, OnePlus and all that, is that we do have a lot of, other features brought into the phone already, and such as, I would say, shortcuts that I can find on other devices. They are not really on the Pixel 7, but that's just my personal kind of experience because I've been used to using those kind of phones. Phones like Xiaomi, even Huawei, all kinds of other Android phones. If you guys are familiar with those, when you use the phone itself, it has a bunch of so many crazy kind of shortcuts, and I was just so used to that when I came to the Pixel phones, it just feels so bare and empty for me. So that's just my personal thoughts, but of course the user experience here is blazing fast, which I think is great. And again, that zero bloatware is really awesome. Now, in terms of the display, again, the display actually surprised me quite a fair bit. I mean, just in terms of numbers, whenever we review a phone, we always talk about numbers, but over here, this is an AMOLED panel refreshed at 90 Hz. And naturally, when you think about 90 Hz, you feel that things won't be that snappy and all that. But I was, again, quite surprised here. Just like how the iPhones do their 60 frames per second, they were actually very fast. The 90 Hz on the Pixel 7 actually felt very smooth, and I did not feel that I was lacking the 120 Hz. Well, apart from that, in terms of the brightness, again, I did not really like the brightness indoors because the auto adjustment wasn't really keeping up with the actual environment here. Whenever I'm indoors, I notice that the screen itself keeps adjusting to a level lower than what I would really prefer. So it's like indoors right now, it just looks a little bit dim and all that for some reason. I'm not sure why that's happening, but when you go outdoors, it gets actually very bright, guys. So I never had any issues when I was like navigating the phone outdoors, and I was using a lot of Google Maps because obviously I'm in a different city and it's just very bright. So it's a great display outdoors, guys. I mean, it's really awesome to look at, very fluid again, and awesome colors. But just that when indoors, the auto brightness just isn't really up to, I would say, like other kind of standards where they find the perfect brightness levels indoors. So again, that's just my take, but you guys might find it different. Right. What else can we talk about here? In terms of the cameras, yep, everyone's always talking about the cameras of the Google Pixel phones. And for the Pixel 7, yeah, they do take some pretty awesome shots. I would say that the pictures coming out of this phone here compared to any other Android device that I've used before is that it's so natural. It looks really similar to what Apple is doing with their iPhone. So if you are into that kind of photos, you will expect that with the Pixel 7. Whenever I shoot with other phones, all the other brands of the Android phones, they do tend to make it a little bit more saturated than what you actually see with your real eyes. I mean, some people prefer that because they like very vibrant pictures that just pop. But for the Pixel 7 here, it's very, very muted, very natural. In fact, sometimes the colors do look a little bit more desaturated compared to what I'm seeing with my actual own eyes. So that's the first feedback that I can give you guys in terms of the Pixel 7. The second feedback here is in terms of the software processing. You guys know Google is a software company, so obviously they're going to be processing a lot of your photos, which again, at sometimes I feel that the actual picture before it was taken, what I see on the screen itself actually looks great. But when I hit the shutter button and I notice that the picture is being processed, it turns to something that is very over sharpened. For instance, I was taking a couple of portraits of, I was just testing out pictures taken of myself, for example. Again, when I look at the display, it looks actually quite alright. Very soft, very nicely lit up as well. But whenever you take the photo, after a few seconds, it processes the photo and then everything just looks so over sharpened. So my face, everything was like super sharp, and I did not really like that. I guess if you are taking photos of like the scenery behind and all that, that will actually be a bit helpful, but just making someone's face like super over sharpened isn't really my thing. So yeah, that's just my feedback in terms of the camera. Obviously, it works very well at night, Again, great cameras here. It's just that some parts of the processing I did not really like. Alright, battery life. Battery life is actually surprisingly very, very good, guys. So again, very surprised here. For a sort of small battery, I would say 4,300 plus mAh. People always want 5,000, right? But for 4,000 plus mAh, I must say that I actually got through the whole day. I was navigating a lot on Google Maps, taking a lot of photos, just browsing on the phone, social media and all that. And the phone lasted all the way till the end of the day. So very surprised with the battery life here. Obviously, charging speeds is not that fast. I think it does like 0 to 50% in half an hour, but you got to have the right charger for that, which does not come in the box. But yeah, still very impressed with the battery life of this small little guy right here. Other than that, there's one final thing that I don't really like, and that's in terms of the buttons. The buttons are actually very difficult to press. They're very hard to press here, guys. You should definitely check it out in the stores if you ever come across one. Just try and press the buttons on the sides, guys. It's one of the hardest buttons to press on any Android phone that I've actually tested out. So yeah, that's just my take. Overall, again, with just the Pixel 7, my experience has been very positive. Again, I like a lot of things that are going on with the Pixel 7. Great user interface, very clean software, very fast display outdoors is fantastic. Cameras are great also for taking landscapes, just not of my own face and all that. Maybe I'm just too old-fashioned, but I did not really like my face to be so over-sharpened. Battery life is awesome. Yeah, I think it's a really solid, mid-range, upper mid-range smartphone that you can get yourself today if you are having a budget of like 3,000 to 4,000 ringgit. By the way, you only get the 128GB version with that price. I think there are more expensive storage options. So again, check out the links down below if you want to find out more about those pricing. With that said, that pretty much sums up my quick take of the Google Pixel 7. If you have any further questions, feel free to let me know down below. If you are already using a Pixel 7, share with me your experience and how I can make my experience even better with the Pixel 7. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.